Okay, welcome to the Lobo podcast. If I sound weird in the intro, it's because I'm in my car. It's kind of driving. Anyways, this guest, Devon Dickerson, I met him through Eric Pinnell, Busting Balls. Actually, back in the Cigars and Stripes day. If you don't know about Cigars and Stripes, great wings, look it up. Used to have mics there all the time. It was crazy. Ronnie, I got to have him on a podcast. Anyways, he used to work at a prison. He showed up in a bulletproof vest and with his wife. We talk about my dad getting deported, how Waukegan, this town up north of Chicago, got so violent. With pedophiles, why white people go to Africa, church, basically getting pulled over, getting a DUI, getting pulled over to LaPorte County, Indiana, the Capitol raid, AR-15s, guns. Anyways, we talk about a lot of stuff. So check out Devon Dickerson. Check out the page. Support the Patreon. We got some solo dens coming up. James Webb, People of Common Network. If you want to do a podcast, hit up James Webb, and then the Patreon coming soon. Okay, Lobo. Okay, welcome to the Lobo podcast. I'm your host, Giovanni Diaz. I say guest the last few times because had no energy, but I have energy now. I think I'm gonna drink this coffee. To my left is not James Webb today. What's up, Manny? Half white Manny, hey. Half white in the house. Manny's half white, half like me, some type of Hispanic, Mexican, right?
Yeah, Mexican.
Half Mexican, half white. And in front of me is Devon Dickerson. What's up, Devon?
Devon Dickerson.
Devon Dickerson. Me and Devon haven't seen. Last time I think we seen each other was so me and Devon met through my buddy Eric Pinnell from Buzzing Balls podcast. Yeah. We met through Eric at Cigars and Stripes. So you've done this podcast a few times.
Yep.
Devon showed up with it looks like a bulletproof vest to the studio.
You gotta have it. City of Chicago requirement right now.
It's a requirement. You haven't been out in a while.
Man, I'm afraid outside. I really am. I don't know what this is.
Do you have a concealed carry yet, or no? You have one now?
I've been had a concealed carry.
Because you carried a pistol for 3 years with no concealed carry, like my dad used to, and he got deported for it. Damn, allegedly.
They'll deport you for that shit?
If you pull it out on people, and then they have drugs, and then they...
Oh, yeah, cocaine.
And you're involved with people, like in cartels or something. Eventually, they'll deport you.
You know what's fucked up, man? I used to work at a prison.
Statesville, right, for 10 years?
Yeah, and the deporting thing was the coldest thing because, like, they really thought they were just getting out of jail.
What do you mean?
Some of them knew they were getting deported, but like some people did not know they were getting deported.
No, my dad.
Out of jail, like you've served time in prison, and you want to go home, and it's like, hey man, you get out next week. Next week comes, and there's 2 more guys waiting in the suits, and you ought to probably out to Gary, Indiana airport, and you in Mexico in 2 hours. You ain't been there in 20 years.
Welcome back, motherfucker.
Like you don't even know nobody.
Like who is
all the motherfuckers you know is dead.
Yeah, they came over. They crossed over the border over here. Right. They back over here.
You got no juice in alpaca.
No.
Oaxaca.
The Oaxaca, right? With an O and an X. Oaxaca.
Right.
Oaxaca.
You ain't got no juice in Oaxaca.
No, nothing. Right?
That's cold blooded, man.
Shit. Look, I don't feel bad for my dad. I'll tell you right, because he did it to himself at the end of the day, right?
Damn.
Like this motherfucker. Look.
You ain't got no feelings for him?
No.
Oh. Wow.
My mom, I do, but look, he's an adult, right? I mean, I feel at the end of the day, I grew up with my dad. So my second did you and your dad reconnect? He didn't raise you, right? You guys didn't.
We were separate, but I knew who he was.
Who knew he was?
Yeah, I had plenty of visits.
Okay, so he was cool.
I kind of stopped visits.
Okay.
The visits were fucked up.
Why was it fucked up?
Because it was a McDonald's handoff. Or grandma's handoff. And grandma
you were like a drug deal.
Grandma was in the projects. She had roaches, and he was supposed to come get me Friday night. It'd be Sunday morning. Like, you want to hang out? I'm like, motherfucker, I've been here dealing with grandma ass for 2 days. If I wanted a grandma visit, you know what I'm saying?
Because you grew up in a nice area, right?
No, I didn't. I grew up in a south suburban rough area, but it wasn't high-rise projects.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's a whole different, That's you gotta know everything. About survival. So it was just the fact that, hey, look, if I want to hang out with grandma for 2 days, mentally you got to be ready to hang out with grandma. But I'm here to hang out with dad, and it's a 3-day weekend, and the 2.5 days, and he come pick me up. Like, yeah, let's go hang out.
Where was dad at?
I was in his van. In the 70s, everybody had a van, and I was like, you was down here the whole damn time. I seen your van out there. You was downstairs the whole time, getting high, trying to get the courage to come upstairs to visit your mother, because you hadn't seen her in a while. So it's a whole, it was just too much, man.
It was too much. So now that you're older, you're less. You really talk to your dad?
Like he died, and right before he died, we got real cool. That's how the shit goes. And what was cool is a lot of people don't realize, man, a lot of this shit with poverty, I don't know where you came up, but poverty, you either are real tight knit family or shit is real fucked up. Like my grandmother was adopted, and then she grew up here. Yeah, her feelings toward people were, she has a gang of grandkids, right? But she picks and chooses which grandkids she likes. Okay. And it's based off of their mother. So if their mother was cool with her son, no matter how fucked up her son was, she's cool with the kids. Oh, okay. But the daughter-in-law? Yeah, if she doesn't like the daughter-in-law, then she ain't fucking with the kids.
Oh, that is petty as fuck. That's so petty.
Like some Godfather shit. Your lineage is fucked up.
Okay.
Right. Like my dad was a fucked up person, but she liked my mom, so she fucked with me. But it was always like.
So you're kind of like your grandma. Because you had the mother test with women you would date, definitely. You had a mother test.
Damn, you studied them, motherfucker.
I had time this week. The last week.
No, yeah, I definitely would.
So basically, well, when I heard that you were talking about it, so I had a similar thing, right? Well, this is the thing. I had two. What people don't know what the mother test is before you had, I guess, before you would sleep somebody, you'd see. By the way, his wife is standing to my left in the corner. Nobody sees her.
It's all good.
But it's all good.
She done heard it all.
She heard it all.
She done been through it all.
All right. Me. So. And you had a mother test. I'm gonna sleep with somebody. You look at them as what kind of mother are they gonna be?
If I can't fuck their mother, if I can't imagine 20 years ago I could have fucked their mother, there's no chance in hell. Because you're gonna reproduce with this person. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now she snuck under the radar. Real shit, because I love her mother, but she is nothing like her mother. You know what I'm saying? So we always say she's a stealth bomber. She made it through the cut, but I think that's serious because I really dated a girl that was adopted, didn't know her real parents, and I just couldn't see myself. You don't know what kind of health issues. You don't know what kind of, I'm fucked up, and you mix.
Is that the girl that moved in with you for a day or something?
Damn, bro. Yes. Damn. Fuck. So you was who was messing with my credit. So now you had a 594 credit score, right? No, what you were saying about your dad. What about your dad? And
so this is where I got a little cold hearted. So me and my dad, growing up, I think we're pretty close, right? So as he was older, right, it was right around when I was 16 or something like that.
Did he raise you? Was he in the house?
Yeah, he was in the house, whatever.
Elsewhere type shit?
Yeah, I didn't know about the kids until a few years later, almost recently. But basically, my dad, we grew up around 16. I started hearing rumors there might have been cheating on another family, and he was around last. He'd be in Mexico. And then, and then my parents kind of split up around senior year, right? So 18.
Because y'all getting out the house, the kid's done. He did his job.
Well, I was getting out. The other, this one wasn't born yet. So my younger sister, who is, she's been on a podcast episode, something, who's obsessed with this motherfucker, obsessed. Puts him on a pedestal, right?
That's because she didn't know him.
Yeah, or she did. I don't. Yeah, when he left, she was 13.
When she knew him, he was still a fantasy. Yeah, she didn't know how fucked up he really was.
And I was a little bit older, so I'm kind of seeing what was going on, right? It's so me and my dad maybe didn't talk for a little bit, but then we reconnected because he started working at the same golf course I was working at. So I'm in golf now, but I've been golf since I've been 16. I'm in golf for 20-something years. So I was a caddy. My dad got a job there caddying, and we kind of almost reconnected a little bit. We started talking. Yeah. So what happened was back before Illinois had concealed carry, my dad would always had a loaded pistol, but he got caught with the pistol. Not the time he pulled it out in front of these Honduran guys at this place called Flanagan's in Waukegan. That's a different time. But anyways, he got caught with the pistol loaded. All right, whatever. And I thought that was all to the case, but I think there was more involved because afterwards, he used to stay at the house at the country club where I would work at.
He's hiding out.
No, workers just lived there, right? So he was just staying there. So some workers had residence there. But then that house got raided, right? And then I was like, wait a second, this is more than a pistol when things get raided. And it got raided. And then I heard something about there was a tracking device. So I think he was talking to some higher end people back in Mexico. Yeah, it was something in between or something.
Your father speaks Aztec. He don't even speak Spanish. Yeah. He speaks Native American Aztec.
Native something.
Mexican and shit.
I don't know if you saw, but one of the dudes who used to play for Chivas, a Mexican league. I don't know if you saw that, man. He just got busted with a kilo in Waukegan a few days ago. Some soccer player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cocaine there's a lot. It's everywhere, dude.
Afraid to do it.
Huh?
Can't do it, man. I've stopped everything, man. This pandemic, I've got clarity to some degree. You know, I've stopped smoking weed. It's like,
how long has it been since you smoked?
About a month of smoking. I still do like, gummy bears.
Edibles?
Yeah. Because it's just, I'm tired of smoking. Mm-hmm. You know, like I feel like I'm 45. It's time to start winding down on shit. I don't really drink that much. It seems like the healthier I get, the more stressed I'm getting, though.
Oh, you know, yeah. Well, because everything, what is everything pouring in?
I don't think I'm that fun anymore. And so, like, people are starting to realize, like, fuck him. You know, he's really not that cool. Yeah, like my wife, you know, we just went through a bunch of shit. She'll tell you later, but we're lucky to be alive right now, just basically.
What'd you guys go through?
Listen, man. You know, you're a comic. And so, at this level, at even our level, it's fucked up. You know, we're fucked up people. We're narcissists. When you're the life of the party and you are the entertainment, it's like who entertains you?
Yeah, like at the after show come down.
Well, no, like just in life.
Yeah.
Just who can make you mentally stimulating. So, like, we just had to come to an agreement of, you know, I have to slow down and she has to speed up on certain levels of just picking up on things, like the entertainment level of I cry, I laugh, but who makes me laugh? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You are receiving a lot of energy from somebody, but you don't feel like it's matched. And so we like matched in every area. Like, I'm not matching her on certain things, a lot of damn things. You know, like a lot of things that you'll find that you find important, you find out that this person can give a fuck less about.
Like what?
Like shit. It could be about, like, I might say, hey, look, you know, you're doing the laundry and it's taking me 20 minutes to get my socks together. And that might not seem like much, but if I'm late for every fucking event, then it becomes a big deal. And then she might be like, well, motherfucker, you don't pay no bills. I mean, we're both right here with it, but you know what I'm saying? You got to balance it out a little bit. So as we all mature, we all grow. If you don't grow, you become stagnant. If you become stagnant, you die, pretty much. So we're in a growth. And the growth is a good thing, and it's hard sometimes. It's hard to grow. You know, it's like any friendship. We've been together 17, 18 years. And she knows about everybody that's ever tried to like me or I've liked. And we've had some honest conversations. And this is the strongest woman I've ever met on earth. Real shit. Because I would have been killed me by now. You know what I mean? You ever met somebody you like, you ain't killed me? Like, I still sleep like this if I sleep at all. You know, so it is one of those things.
I was just telling my
I wear a bulletproof vest really for her.
For 9mm?
Huh?
Was 9mm semi-hollow plus P ammunition?
Yeah,
but look,
it only take a knife or and then like she could bring me a water. I'd be like, nah, let me get that water over there. Drink this water first.
But look, so I just had this conversation with my girlfriend. Yeah, this is weird. Well, I'm in a new relationship, right?
How long?
Like 2 months. But I've been single forever, right?
That's not even a new girlfriend.
I know. Well, for me, because I've been single forever, and it got pretty intense pretty quickly, right? You know, she's not pregnant yet, but.
Oh, so you mean you went raw first?
Huh?
You went raw the first.
Yeah, it's funny because I went raw first, right? And then afterwards, she's like, you know, I test myself, I do this. What about you? And I was like,
like, do you not listen to my podcast?
She was like,
everybody could do it.
She was like, when's the last time you've been tested? Because she's half white, so she do. I'm Latino. We don't do stuff like that.
Look, you said high school? Like, I passed the ACT.
No, the last time I ever get tested is me and my friends. We went to sell fucking plasma. You know, there's people. White people donate blood, and then you sell plasma and platelets. You go there for an hour. They go back in. This is like, this is more. Yeah, this is when you're broke or whatever. They don't see the plasma centers in, I guess, I don't know, Lake Forest.
They got them out there.
Lake Forest, Lake Bluffland. You know, Waukegan, we got them. But I remember getting blood, and my friend's father gave blood. And then they're like, hey, he can't give blood. And because they tested, I was like, and then he found out that his dad had an STD, and then he found out it was cheating, and there was a whole thing that unraveled.
And that's why I don't get tested. Why find that shit?
Yeah. So then it's like,
like you get tested.
Like, I don't know. But it was funny because we had sex, and she was like, you know, I test myself and blah, blah. And she looked at me, when's the last time? And I was like, yeah, exactly. I was like, Look, you just roll the dice with me.
All right. Now you want to ask?
But now
right. You should ask that way before.
I mean, it's too late now. But it's like we've been together. I don't think she has anything. I did go schedule a test, but then it snowed that day, so I canceled.
And COVID,
she canceled. Yeah,
and all kind of shit. You don't want to deal with.
Yeah, we both had COVID already, so it's like we're good.
Great.
It was in July.
I think I had it last February, so that was like shit.
Did it last February? Oh yeah, it was still
like
2020.
Right at the very beginning, like before everybody was announcing that shit.
Mm-hmm. No, I like when I got COVID, a bunch of people I knew got COVID. Right, like in every, I wasn't in Waukegan and nobody. I remember like, I was at a liquor store in Waukegan. Waukegan, if people don't know, it's a neighborhood in the north, but it's kind of ghetto. And then it's like it's the suburbs, but it's like I live in a place called the Towers, which is government subsidized 14-story building.
I don't know how it got that bad. Like, how did crime find its way that far north? We used to do shows up there. Me and Dave Johnson used to go up there every like 2-3 times a month. The Pink Dolphin, or it's a big club out there. It was in a mini mall, like
it's in the corner, probably.
Yeah, it's in the corner.
The Red Iguana,
now it's Plink Flamingo, or
something.
Laguna,
the Red Iguana.
Yeah, there you go, Red Iguana. Right.
I think Smitty did some shows there too.
That was a nice club too. Mm-hmm. But every time we'd outside, man, I just wait on some gunshots to pop off, and I just be like, man, how did y'all find it up here? Like, how did the crime find its way up here?
Well, it's the cousins or something got sent. Probably the bad cousins got sent up north.
That's Section 8 shit.
And they start and then they start reproducing.
I imagine it was
and
nice.
And then the Mexicans came,
right?
But the younger ones.
Yeah, right. I imagine it was real nice, and it was like, there's no crime up here. We need to import some of this.
It's like reverse gentrification.
Because I'm like, this is too far for crime. This is close to Wisconsin, Winnebago County. This is ridiculous.
It is.
Yeah.
But no, like, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah, killing my girl, right? So this is, you were talking about getting killed by your wife. Mm-hmm. I just had this conversation with my girl. I was like, look, I told her honestly, I would never kill you, right? Because she has a kid. Mm-hmm. And I told her straight up, like, you have a child, so I would never kill you.
You kill a kid, right?
No, I wouldn't. Even though I did joke, with my friends, I was like, hey, this bitch leaves me, I'm going to Chris Benoit these motherfuckers.
Oh, wow.
Chris Benoit, if you don't know, he got CTE from wrestling and killed himself and his family. I would never do that, right? It was a joke with my friends. She didn't hear that joke. She'll hear it now in about 3 weeks.
I can't even imagine you around kids. That's what's fucked up.
You know what's fucked up about me around kids?
Yeah.
I talk to kids like I talk to adults, like regular, right? That's so like my niece is kind of a cold-hearted bitch, a little bit, very sarcastic, very not daughter. I don't have any kids, right? But one of my sisters, I got two sisters. One of them was regular sister. She's like 29. Grew up brother-sister relationship. The other one, that's when my dad got deported, so I kind of helped raise her. So she's like a sister-daughter, like a sister, but we had a different relationship because I kind of raised her. It was me and my mom working, so like I would take her to school. Like the school stuff, it was like me and her.
That sounds creepy, bro.
Huh?
You sound like you're about to get creepy with it.
Sister-daughter.
Like my dad was going, and he normally would molest us, so I fucked this.
No. Speaking of molesting, speaking of molesting, actually, this is what I would teach, like. Which was my sister.
Teach them not to areas or whatnot.
Never. I was like, never trust anybody. I don't give a fuck anybody. No. Look, if anybody's like, we were at Dave & Buster's, right? And I was like, look, I'm gonna be in the bar drinking, and then you guys,
you a great guy,
great uncle, right? And I'm like, you guys, because they have the tag, they can't leave. I was like, look, if anybody goes even near you who looks a year older or younger than you, if they're not within a year of you, just scream. There's no reason for them to talk to you. There's no reason for any adult to talk. Like, I don't trust people. Like, I love kids. You're a dude. You want to work with kids. Like, look.
I think that's the first thing I think.
Yeah.
I think white people who like to go to Africa, like fucking Africans and killing them. Some way.
Wait, what? What? Hold on.
All of these Christians who love going to Africa
and killing Africans.
You would leave warm and air conditioned as America, and your mission in life was to go and be around a bunch of people in the dust.
Yeah, you're trying to fuck kids.
You got an ulterior motive somewhere in that body. You selling a drug and you want to test it out there. It's something you doing. That's
the vaccines. You know what I mean? Michael Gates. What's his name? Bill Gates?
Bill Gates.
Yeah.
It's something you got going on mentally.
And you know what? Another guy I don't trust is like you meet somebody, right? I don't trust you if you're overly nice to me when you first like that fake personality. If you're kind of an asshole and you're a dick, I get you. But you're like, hey, you're that sales guy who's overly pitchy, trying to sell you something, or if you're that guy who
you mean too nice.
You mean something else. It's like nah. There's something there. What are you up to? Is the first thing I'm
like when you go to church, the guys who want to sit there and pray with you, like, come on, man.
No.
Come on, man. You just want to hold my hand?
you go to church?
I used to. I went one time for counseling, and it was so funny, man. I was having some issues, and they bring out, no offense to any homosexual people, but when I'm praying to God, I don't want the homosexual thing too, as well. No offense.
Wait, I don't get it. You're praying to God. You don't want to think about dudes?
Like I was going through something. My mother was like, "Hey, let's go to the church." Like my mother's really into church, right? And I was probably in my 20s.
What kind of
20s?
What kind of denomination?
It was
Mexican.
apostolic, so like that's really like the catch.
Snake biting?
No, that's not in the South. That would be
okay.
But up here, it's more like they just catch the Holy Ghost, wilding out in church and screaming a lot, right? But it's still cool.
Tongues? Any tongues?
Especially the tongues, right? Yeah, definitely the bug guard, right? And so I was going through a breakup. I thought I was gonna marry this girl. This was back right around college, after college, like 22. And so this is where, I grew up on the South Side, and South Side still is really homophobic. I don't make any excuses for it. I've learned to love people for who they are, because I realize that it takes too much energy to hate, and enough people hate black people, so it's shit. I'm taking any friends I can take, right? But this guy was like your flamboyant, the gay guys would be like, man, he's gay. The gay guys would be like, he's gay. And so when he came out, I was like, you know what? I don't know if I want this guy to pray with me. And I wasn't at that point and level, but it was just one of those things where church, I started to meet a lot of weird people. Not the gay guy. He was just gay. But like there were guys who were, you find out that they were preaching with each other, but they were scamming the church for business, or they were scamming. There was a guy, he would always try to sell me
before
insurance.
You said that in my notes, I wrote the word scam because I was thinking of one specific guy.
It was like these guys would always be in church and they would feed off of the church. And I'm not saying anything bad about the church or anything like that. And I hope I'm not saying anything bad about gay. I'm talking about my passage through life. So anybody who's judged me for what they want to judge, that's your problem, But we all come to where we come. And it's just like one of those things where you start seeing things for what they really are when you really remove yourself, So like the gay thing, right? So me and my wife, we worked with this one guy. His name was Micah. And he was like, he would walk up to you at work and would hug men at work. And we're in suits and ties, and he would hug you. And you had no choice but to be hugged. Like he would just fucking hug you. And I would sit there like I was being molested. I was like, dude, this has to be a fucking HR issue. Like
you were like, what's his name?
Like I just can't go up and hug all the bitches here. So why is he? And then like after a while, it was like one day he walked past me and he hugged another dude, and I was like, hey bro, what the fuck? Where's my hug?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And like all the dudes like, oh, so now he got you. And it was like we all take our passage to where we need to be. So it is what it is. I don't even know how I got on that subject.
That breakup. You were going to church or praying because you went through a bad breakup.
But that didn't go where I was thinking it was going to go. The point is, I wasn't ready for this guy to be the guy to pray with me to God. Because
I asked you, like, when did you stop going to church?
When did I stop? Well, my wife, when we go to church together, she be flamboyant about the shit too. Like she's always screaming and embarrassing. I'm more private with mine. Like she's that
Is
one.
It still the same type of
like
church?
Now, if we had problems, everybody will know we have problems by how she's rejoicing. Like, oh, thank you, Lord, thank you for bringing
the rejoicing. The before and after, right? Is that
that's during in the black church? You could it could be any minute in the black church that you rejoice. So like during the singing,
is black church really long? Is that true? Or it depends on
for a minute, depending on what type of church. See, okay. I went to Apostolic Church of God, and the reason I went there is because they were on TV. And so if you're on TV, you have to cut that shit short. You can't go 3 hours. But I've been to churches where it could be Sunday and then Tuesday when you get out of that mug. So,
yeah, hard out, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man, how much you juicing God right now? Like you juicing the mic. It's like a comic like Michi Hall. It takes too much time on the mic,
we were at a show and they're like between or a mic and they're the host between
the host
sets
is 20
like
minutes between. Yeah, right.
I was like, man, dude, we're like,
exactly.
I gotta go. Do you see your set's over here? You start seeing the people leave.
And preachers do the same thing. Yeah, you got your main preacher. He introduces the secondary preacher. He gets up for half an hour. Now
you got a guest spot.
Then we got a guest preacher just happened to be stopping through town.
If non-comic listeners, comedy show is usually a host, sometimes a guest spot that comes in, and then the feature does like 15, 20, and then the headliner does 40-something minutes. So that's how it works. That's what we mean when we mean the head. But no, I grew up going to Catholic church, right? My mom would go, my dad wouldn't go.
Yeah.
And then when I got old enough to not go, I was like, well, first I went through phases. I got to the phase where I would go by myself, but I had my own rules now because my mom wasn't there. So like in Catholic church, they sit you up, they stand you up, they sit you up. So then my mom wasn't there. I was like, I'm not getting up. So I would just
you just rebelling, just sit still.
Because it's like I'm listening, whatever, but I don't want to stand up. Like
I'm just gonna stay kneeling. I ain't gonna get back up.
So I wouldn't. So that was my first phase of like on the way out, and I was like, I would just kind of go and and then my mom would get there early. I'd show up 15 minutes late. I'd be the first when they start doing the announcements or whatever, the community ward. That's when I would leave because my mom wasn't there, and then slowly start going out. I did go back to church for like not a little bit ago, but. I went for 3 months for my girl. Already heard this. I went for 3 months for a girl, and that's when the first time I went to I was trying to smash. I went. It was fun because my friend went with me, and he was like disgusted, right? Because I went to a Catholic church, so you go talk in a Christian church before the pastor preacher gives a sermon. Is that the rejoicing they sing and then you do the stuff and they do it after, I think, but before, and I didn't know, but he went in, he legit wanted to check out the pastor in the church.
And he was just there to get some pussy.
But this son of a bitch, they gave you a gift card for $5 that he didn't take, and I want whatever. Anyways,
you wanted him to take the gift
card from
Starbucks,
too. Yeah, because I was drinking a lot of coffee at the time. Right. So, anyways, and he just looked at me and he saw me doing the whatever and he was like, he like whispered to me. He's like,
you going to hell?
He whispered to me. He was next to me. He's like, you disgust me.
Hey, but real stuff, man. Like I had to tell her, like, so, like it was rougher in church than in the club because. When I was clubbing, it was the same chicks at the club that was at my church. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they just had on a different outfit or maybe the same outfit. You know what I mean? It's like, so it got real rough after 20, because you could probably get more coochie in church than you could at the club because there's no cover fee. You ain't spending no money, and there you are. You on God's terms. You look humble. You know what I'm saying? And they know you get down at the club too, so you well versed, you know.
It's funny because when I went to the church, I remember meeting different. Like I saw a few different people that were there. Like, oh, you're coming. Like a chick I was sleeping with, and I wasn't anymore at that time. So I would go to her house. She was an older chick, and then I saw her at the church, and she was like, oh, you go to the church now? I was like, yeah. So it's funny. I would be seeing other people, my aunts or whatever, but they didn't know what I was up. But I did think the pastor was on to me because the way he would look at me, like
he's like,
he knew this girl.
No, you know what?
She had a man. I didn't know.
Messing with his flock.
Yeah, I was messing with his flock.
He's like, man, I was about to hit that next week, man.
Dude, I was messing with his flock. No, but anyways, what are you doing now? Now that you're out of the prison game, you've been out of that for a while, right?
Yeah, I've been out there for about 20 years. Like people I work with now are retiring, and now it's like. They're calling me like, don't you wish you to stay? Hell no, I've been crazy. I'm crazy now. I've been super crazy. Like right now, COVID. So a couple of my buddies caught COVID from working in the jail. Could you imagine working in the jail, catching COVID, and got to go right back to working in the jail? You know, and COVID's gonna be waiting on you. You know, so it's like, and it's a mental thing, man. It's a mental thing when you see. I happen to be black, and when you see a bunch of black people, and you start looking like. So we really are paying like $50,000 a year to keep these people alive, but we could never invest $50,000 for the jobs for these people. You know what I mean? Like, you know what the scam is after a while. So,
did you ever sue that county where you got pulled over in Indiana?
I never did. I should have.
What happened? You were doing the paperwork?
I should have. I did the paperwork.
Was it LaPorte County?
It was LaPorte County. Fuck LaPorte County.
That's in Indiana, right?
Route 6 or 12 or one of them routes. Yeah, they will follow your ass till you can't be followed no more. I might sue him now. I work for a law firm now, so I might sue him.
What was it? You were. What was his excuse? Your turn? No, not turn.
He
signal.
said I turned my turn. No,
you turned suspiciously.
I turned my turn signal on
200 feet.
200 feet as opposed to 100 feet before. I've used it for 200.
Oh, and you were going 40 instead of 45.
And I was going 40 in a 45 in the second lane as opposed to the first lane, which he was occupying. And it was some other garbage, and I just looked at him. And he gave me warning after warning because I must have just looked at him like, come on, man. Come on.
Were you still in corrections at the time?
No, this was like 2 years ago.
Okay.
So, no, this was 2 years ago before my DUI and stuff like that. Yep. But no, man, I got, you've been doing a lot of comedy lately?
I'm doing a show. So, let's see. So, this is what happened, right?
Are you doing virtual comedy at all? Because I can't get into it. I can't do it.
Look,
I haven't done it.
I haven't. I feel shitty about this. If this person hears it, look, I don't. It's just not. It's not for me.
I can't feel it. I'm a crowd person.
Somebody asked me.
Yeah, I'm a crowd person though.
But I say that in a nice way. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. Like I'll do this. I'll do online content now.
I started Zooming, but that's about it.
No,
because Zoom is like you can do whatever you. What? Not Zoom. What is it? TikToking.
Okay, TikTok.
Yeah, I got a little cousin.
Eric always sends me TikToks.
I got a little cousin.
Day.
She's 4, and I feel like you could sell products now. So I'm into doing cooking. I've got a cooking show I'm putting together. Me and this 4-year-old.
What's your TikTok?
Shit. Devon Dickerson. Just look it up. There can't be that many TikToks with Devon Dickerson on it. And so it's me and Imani. She's 4, and what we do is we do a cooking show. She's 4, so she sells everything. I'll send you a clip of it if you want to run it through this. But I'm finding out that I want to start selling products because these kids are selling products, bro. And I mean, they're like now my videos, like you know how like your YouTube video, the video after you would be a shitty ass video. Like now Peppa Pig is after my video. So that's good company to be in. So if you're watching Peppa Pig, now you can watch me. And that's a lot of products that we sell. So I like lay out a bunch of products that we're using, and hopefully somebody will pick that up.
Oh, I'm thinking about doing something with my niece, so I'm going to start that.
Pick up a kid, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
No
pedo.
No? What?
No pedo.
I forgot to tell you, the pedophile thing, right? So I ingrained this into my little sister and my niece. I was like we were a Dave & Buster's Scream, right? Mm-hmm. And I would tell my niece, like, look, don't ever trust anybody. I don't give a, especially family, right? Because this is the thing people think. They're like, oh, this is your own. Like, number one, people that are going to fuck with your kids is going to be family. So I tell her, like, don't trust nobody. You know what I mean?
And the crazy part is a lot of people won't report that shit. Mm-hmm. That's the fucked up thing is like, about 3 years ago, a friend, they had a grandkid and the grandkid was telling a story. And I was listening to the story.
How was the kid?
The kid, like 5? So it was like one of the kids were like 10 and her brother was like 4. And the 10-year-old was telling a story about a cousin who was 8. And the 8-year-old was looking at porn because his dad would want him to watch porn, which is a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? It might sound cool if you're chilling with your son and there's some porn, but he's 8. And so he has a younger cousin that he was fondling. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so when are we going to call the police? Because I just got this information out of your grandkids, and, you might want to know this. And the girl was crying, and she was telling, and it's like months. And I was like, so what happened with the kid and, the thing and, and they were like, well, we just all talked about it. No, y'all need to go get some therapy for him, lock his dad up. I'm like, I don't, and I felt bad because I'm like, well, shit, what do I do? You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, report that shit. Get it out of the way. Lock up who needs to get locked up and cut that generational curse because it affects a lot of generations.
It's like a vampire. I think I've heard people say like a vampire because that kid gets fucked up. He fucks up another kid.
Yes,
and it's
and the next thing you know, it's R. Kelly. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, it happens. It definitely happens that way.
Because what would happen with? So I just found out like a cousin. Something happened to a cousin of mine because
we get dark on this show.
Usually not, but
it's
okay.
A dark show.
It got dark, but look, this is what happened.
Religion, gays, gay passion, and pedophilia.
But look, so this is what happened. I put videos of my niece sometimes on Snapchat, right? And then I put one up because I think we were at the Dells, right? Yeah, I think I was the Dells because I went to the Dells. I took my niece and went with my girlfriend, her son. And then there's a lot of chlorine, a lot of fat white people at the Dells. Anyways, so I put up a video, and then my cousin messages me. He's like, oh, you're a great uncle, blah, blah. And she's like, don't let anything ever happen to her. And I was like, what? Wow. Huh? Yeah. And she's like, you can't, you never let her. Right. And then some other message, very cryptic. And it was like, even family, it's a horrible thing. And I was like, okay, I just found out something happened to her kid or her.
Right, but she didn't just come out and tell you.
No, and I didn't ask, obviously. No. I was like, okay.
I had an uncle that I took care of for a couple of years, and he was kind of weirding out, and that's why I kicked him out of my house, because my kids were there. It's like, bro, you could be weird on your own terms, but you can't be weird, and my kids are here. Mm-mm. And I mean, he didn't give me a vibe or anything. He was going through his own personal battles with alcohol and just weirding out.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, you acting too weird to be around my kids. Like, I don't even like them to see you sleeping during the day and not going to work. I don't like.
Yeah,
he's older,
but it picks up. They pick up on that.
I don't want them to see this. I don't want them to see you going through this. They've seen enough, And now every time I reference fucked up shit, I'd be like, "Oh, you on some Mark stuff?" You know, like
Uncle Mark.
Yeah, right. He's rest in peace. But yeah, he was cool. But sometimes, like I was telling you about your sister with your father, he lived in Seattle, and he was a great image to me because I didn't have to grow up with him.
Oh.
But when I started taking care of him, now all of a sudden Superman doesn't look so super.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't a bad dude. It just like my image of him was a little bit faded because I was like, bro, I used to call you and you would give me advice on shit, and now you are this messed up. You know, he was relapsing from 20 years of sobriety. And when you relapse after 20 years.
Booze and drugs?
Booze mostly. Mostly
booze?
But hard alcohol.
Oh, like every day?
Like a gallon a day of vodka.
Oh, okay.
A gallon. Like, not a fifth.
Yeah, straight alcoholic. Has to drink morning, day. If he quits cold turkey, it'll kill him type of alcoholic, yeah.
Yeah, man, right, exactly. I never experienced
real alcoholic.
I never experienced anybody like that.
No.
Yeah, I promise you, man. It sobered me up a little bit.
Well, I was a different type of alcoholic, right? I was just a weekend alcoholic. And then I would call myself an alcoholic because I would go by Dr. Drew's definition, which was consequences and family history. So during the week, I'd keep it together. But then the weekends, it's like blackout. Right. I blacked out over 20-something times. I don't know if you ever blacked out.
I don't even call it blackout. You go to sleep.
Huh? No, but you're still up, though, and you're doing stuff. So not that, like a blackout.
That's what a blackout is?
Yeah, so a blackout is you're drinking.
People tell you did all kind of weird shit.
Yeah, you're there, you're up, but you don't remember any of the things. So like, one of the stories I've told on here is semi-recently is I was with a girl at this place I used to hang out in Beach Park near Waukegan called Clark's. We were drinking. She was going to the bathroom to do something, and I gave her that was in a $1 bill, right? Because I was trying to get laid.
Right.
This is all yellow, but if this was white, that's the color of the thing that was inside the $1 bill, allegedly. Anyways, I have a job. I want to keep it, so I'll use the word allegedly. So then, the next thing I knew this, I remember 5-10 minutes of that night, woke up in Kenosha that morning in my car, parked outside. And that's a whole thing happened. You know, all kinds of stuff happened. No, but I've had lots of blackouts.
Yeah. Dude, I've gotten home and I'm like, damn, I didn't even know how I got home.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy, you know.
How'd you get your DUI? I have 2 I missed, but I never got my DUI.
Let's talk about something.
Okay, we'll skip it. We'll skip it.
I got a DUI for drinking. I was out hanging out at a comedy club. It was actually a great night. And I don't believe I was drunk to this day.
Oh, I think I talked to we hung out with Eric a little bit after it happened.
Yeah, I don't believe I was drunk to this day. I think I refused to blow.
Which I always say is the way to go.
I refused to blow, but in Indiana, that's immediate jail, $3,500 to get out, and 12 hours sitting in there. I was high as hell. No, I was like, dude, I'm high than a motherfucker. I didn't tell him that, but I was like, and I got like a fifth. I got a fifth in the car and a gun in the car. You ain't checked none of that shit. So take me to jail. Hurry up. Let's go. Let's go, because this is about $1,000 more of charges up in that car right there. Hurry up.
You get arrested or not?
Nah, put the cuffs on. Hurry up. Fuck that car. Yeah, so no, it's never fun getting a DUI, man. I don't wish that shit on nobody, man. It's like your body got snatched. You was having fun, and now you in jail with a bunch of other people.
That's the worst.
That's
happened to me on mushrooms. Yeah, he didn't know I was on mushrooms. He just found a little bit of weed, but that was horrible.
I was so high, I had to sit there for 12 hours because I didn't blow. I bonded out. I had like $4,000 in the bank, which I don't even know why I had $4,000 in the bank, but it was $3,500 to get out. And I was like, this motherfucker taking all my money. The cop never said shit the whole ride, and I was wondering, hey, where we going? He was like, Lake County Jail. I was like, oh, you real enunciated on that. And by the time, so I had to sit for 12 hours.
Holding cell, or did you move you to a regular room? Because I've only been holding cell.
No, they was trying to move me, but I was like, no, I already bonded out. I refused to go. But about 10 hours into it, I was so high, man. My high lasted about 10 hours.
Were you eating then, right?
Nah, I was smoking with
out of a blunt.
This is funny, man. I was smoking with Damn Fool. Kevin Simpson.
Kevin Simpson. He's down in Georgia now, right?
Yeah,
real funny comedian.
So he must have brought something from Cali or something, but we was smoking, and I believe Mike Samp was in the back too, and we was smoking back there with me. It was one of Michi's shows.
Okay.
But the weed was so good, I know I didn't drink. I gave my complimentary drinks away. I was drunk before I got there, and I sat till 2:00, and we didn't leave at 2:00. But I was so high, I got locked up at 3:00. I had to get out of there at 3. My high lasted to like noon or 1 o'clock the next day. But when my high came off, I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, I just felt like all of a sudden I'm in jail, you know what I mean? And it was just, I don't wish jail on nobody. I don't know how people do years in jail, bro. I've been on all sides of the equation. I just cannot understand that shit.
It's the weirdest thing where you're locked, because it's like, well, me, I was on mushrooms. It's like you're locked up and there's nothing you can do. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get out. Like, you're an adult, right? And you just lost your freedom, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Freedom, bro. Like freedom.
You can't. You're stuck.
We was looking at this shit with this Trump shit. Have you been watching this impeachment?
No, I don't watch anything.
Oh my God, this is the best shit ever, bro. So
he's getting impeached.
So no, they're impeaching him again.
Okay. Is this the third time?
The second impeachment. They're impeaching. The Senate is impeaching him in the same room that he had the motherfuckers come and storm. So like everybody who was stuck in the room is now saying, you know what, we're gonna lock this motherfucker up.
How you impeach somebody who's? That's
exactly the argument. They making it, and they already passed that point. So they're like, yes, he's gonna get locked. Yes, it's possible. But this is what I thought about the other day, right? So, you saw them when they stormed the Capitol, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Capitol, they were in front of the White House, or they were not in front of the Capitol quite yet. Mm-hmm. And if you've been to D.C., right?
One time, yeah.
Okay, so
as a gifted student, allegedly, they thought I was, and they sent me on a program,
right,
with the real smart kids, and I
was
like,
what's up. Actually, I went on a program too to D.C. That's funny. So like, I went to D.C. and we stayed at a hotel that was right across the street from the White House. And I couldn't see the White House. Like, I could see Pennsylvania Avenue, but the White House is so shielded. It's really not as big as it looks on TV, but you could see the Capitol, and everybody thinks that the Capitol is the White House.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep. Because you could see the Capitol from everywhere, right? So they were by the White House, and Trump came out, gave a speech. Now think about this. He said, go over there and fuck those people up in the Capitol. Those are his co-workers. Right? He knows Nancy Pelosi's kids. He knows, fuck
your kids, fuck your wives. Everybody's getting raided.
He knows Pence's family, right? So Pence was in the Capitol. You got to think about who was in the Capitol at this point, right?
He's like, I'm going out with a bang.
Right. He said, well, Pence ain't do what he wanted to do, kill everybody in the Capitol.
He's like, fuck you. He's cool.
No, he said everybody in the Capitol. They was looking for everybody in the Capitol, and they were in the Capitol to ratify ratify. What's the word, smart guy?
I don't remember what they were doing.
This guy over here, he's smart.
Mr. Manny?
Ratify.
I'm trying to think of the word, too.
Yeah, it's ratify. Yeah, it's ratify. So. Yeah. They were ratifying the election, right? Mm-hmm. And so Pence was in there, Pelosi was in there, and all these goons was listening to Trump give a speech in front of the goons. And he was like, you know what? I have a problem with this bitch Nancy. She always complaining about lunch. It's lunch break right now. Go fuck up. That's basically what he did. Like at lunch break, kill that lady, And then when you think about how heinous that is, bro, that is fucked up. I don't know nobody that fucked up. Go 3 blocks that way. This is the wrong building, y'all. Go 3 blocks that way and kill everybody in the building. And we not trying to hang this guy? Like, I'm not even against Trump politics or nothing like that. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about just that one action, bro, is just ridiculous. Because he's a billionaire, and I really don't think this dude has a touch with reality. And now that he's not president, I believe he's scarier because he has a militia. Mm-hmm. So could you imagine a billionaire with a militia and no formal title? That's like a guy with no boundaries whatsoever. So I think like it's going to be even way worse.
Let's all buy AR-15s. I got one. I got to get a sling. It's actually my list to buy.
Man, you see what I'm walking in. I got my vest.
You got your vest. I don't have a vest yet, but.
Man, she's mad. She ain't got one. I'm like, but I'm driving. So if I die, you definitely going to die.
So it's winter, right? So I don't bring my AR-15. I used to bring it. I don't know if James knows, but I would be in the trunk, at least in my car, if it come in the summer.
You down to need one.
With like 90 rounds. Allegedly. No, actually, no. I have everything legal, so I won't say allegedly, but I got the
AR-15 illegal to conceal? I don't think that's.
Yeah, it's concealed. Everything's concealed. If it's concealed.
You can conceal a militia rifle?
If you can conceal it. You could try and call it an assault rifle. Look, it's a semi-automatic rifle with a 30-mile magazine. If that has the same action.
I thought a concealed rifle was. I think a concealed carry was a handgun.
That's the easiest thing to conceal. But really, if the law is, if you can conceal it. No, I looked when I got this stuff, I was like very.
No, I'm not saying you can't have an AR-15, but do you think you can go to Walmart with one in your
pants? If it's concealed, but you can't. Well, the thing is, logic or
no, I got some cousins that conceal AR-15s.
If you can conceal it, yes, you can conceal an AR-15.
Look, he's got it, so you could carry it. Look up there, he's got it in a book bag. Can you carry it like that?
Yeah, if you can't see it, yes. If it's concealed. right?
So
you can't carry it.
Yeah, it's technically a pistol.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
But it's like it's legal. You can conceal it. Like you can conceal if you can conceal it, you can carry it.
Pull up Illinois though. Just type Illinois
in your
right
car.
After that.
Like I remember in my concealed carry class, right? In your car, basically, like as whatever you can keep in your car, as many pistols and guns you can have in your car that you can conceal, you can basically ride with that.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Damn.
He's right.
No wonder.
No
wonder these people are shooting the shit out of it.
If it fits, it ships.
If it fits, it ships. I like it. So that's you can get. So everybody, come on, let's conceal.
Yeah, I guess I'm about to go. What Google prices? What did yours cost?
So ARs are going to be between 300 to 2,000, right? Let's say 400. I forgot how cheap, but you don't want to get
300 to
no,
2,000?
maybe not. Maybe let's say
range,
4
man.
to 6, right? Because you're going to get something that's really expensive. You're going to get something on the high end, which is like 1,000 or 2,000. So mine ended up being like $1,000. So what happened was I was helping my friend's dad.
You gotta kill somebody. You spend that much money, man.
Huh?
You gotta shoot somebody.
I always say this: it's better to have it than need it and not have it. Is what I.
So what are those?
like
1,900.
Let's see. You don't need.
1,500?
You can get a decent one for $6. You can get stuff for $700. This is higher in prices. What is that?
Are those collapsible? Do they have collapsible ones?
Yeah, but now you have limits how far you can have the
really?
rifle and whatever. Like you can only go so short with like a basic rifle. Because then it becomes there's all these little stipulations. Like you can get a Glock and you get the thing for it, but then you got to get this other license. It gets really weird with that stuff. But yeah, like the thing is collapsible. You can get Colin Noir. He's a black ex-NRA. Well, he was like a TV guy for the NRA. So he did a cool video. Pull up Colin Colin, and then Noir.
Yeah, but when you've seen so many shootings, man, it's just I'm getting numb to it. To be honest with you, it's ridiculous out here, bro. Like these.
Where you stay?
These expressway shootings.
So he has a cool video. Colin Noir, I love this guy. Anyways, he used to be an NRA TV guy.
Okay.
He's on Instagram. He's been on I think Rogan's a few times. But there's a cool video where he put Colin Noir AR book bag where he like tests out putting like this one AR inside his book bag.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant he had a bulletproof
transgender. Book bag. What? Greg Duchante. Oh, that must have been James looking something up.
Probably for you.
Oh my goodness.
No, I only had one trans story, but I did on the Patreon. Follow the Patreon if you want to hear that story.
I got a trans story too.
What's your trans story?
So, the Warehouse. You remember the Warehouse Club?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. So it was on Randolph, right by UIC, Randolph and Halsted.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be a house music club. So I used to go there in college in the 90s. That's how long ago college was for me. Then revisited about maybe in 2000, 1999, late 2000, early 2000s.
I don't think he has a video. First mag, blah, blah, blah. But there's a cool video he's in it. I'll find it. I'll send it to you where he put, there it is. Vertex Game Plus, maybe. And that's not even him. It's some white dude. All right, but whatever. He gets like some type of AR and gets in a book bag and tests out how it would be practically. But he's a lawyer, I think, from Georgia. Anyways, let's get back to the trans story. Follow Colin Noir. Really cool videos about guns and gun safety.
Let me ask you about the gun thing, though. You got an AR-15. So when does this stop?
It doesn't. It's like tattoos.
When does it
you never
stop? Do we start getting tanks? Because now it's been 100 and some odd unsolved murders on the city expressways, which the governor is responsible for the expressways. People don't realize, but Governor,
who's your governor?
Governor Fat Boy, he's responsible for that, and nobody's calling him out on it. If you ever notice, man, like I used to exterminate in college and exterminate roaches. And one time I went into a place, killed too many roaches. My boss was infuriated. Like I thought that was the goal. He had a project building that he was scared to go into. I was in college. And he was like, you can meet all the project girls in there and have fun and I was making $500 for like 6 hours of work a week.
Oh, there's a video. Is it practical to carry? No, I don't think that's the one. Oh, maybe.
So my boss comes and he goes, man, we ain't got no complaints this last 2 weeks from that building that you spray. And I'm like, oh, damn, I'm about to get a raise and be, about $500 to maybe $700 a week, right? For 2-3 hours of work. He was like, nah, man, I got to let you go. You killing the roaches. You doing too goddamn good of a job. See, you don't understand. We got to contain the roaches. Whoever complains about their roaches, you get rid of their roaches. If they're not complaining, you just you just make it smell like you spray roach spray in it. But you actually using the chemical. And I told you don't use the chemical, water it down. And I was like, so you really telling me? He's like, yes, I'm really telling you. You contain the roaches. You don't kill them, or we'll never have a job.
Yeah.
And that's what crime is. That's what that's what this whole thing is. We don't want to get rid of this shit. We only want to get rid of it from the taxpayers who complaining, but everybody else let that shit ride out. And it's like, at what point are we going to get tired of that being the system? Because like, do we get tanks? Like, so now that there's been so many murders on the expressway, now do we get armored vehicles? Then do we get tanks?
Yes.
Then do we get,
Absolutely.
like choppers?
I like where you're
and
going.
You ready for all of that, right?
Yeah.
See, that's what's fucked up. It'll never end.
Look,
what animal is like that other than us, man? Like, no other animal is like trying to maim each other without even eat. Like, at least eat the motherfuckers if you're gonna kill them,
But look, this is where I don't like. So the people in the gun community, right? They'll do this argument. I remember Adam Carolla used to talk about this. So there was he would compare it to the cigarette smokers. People who smoke cigarettes would let things slide and slowly, like, okay, you can smoke, but you got to smoke over here.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can smoke, you got to smoke outside. You can blah, 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 blah. And the smokers never kind of fought back. And then slowly, like now they're, I don't know, football field away from the entrance, and then you got to blow it in this way. You can't smoke outside anymore,
can't
right?
smoke on Earth.
Yeah, you can't smoke. Like, you need to go Elon Musk,
Right.
Rocket X, get a spaceship, go
Right.
outside, have a Marlboro.
Right.
So with the gun people, I think this was Carolla's argument. Like, they watched what was going on. They're like, nah. You're stopping right here. Like, they don't budge because it's like, you're going to start here. I know what you guys are doing. Are like, no, we're just going to do sensible gun things. You can't do this and you can't do that. But like, they know the gun people, the Second Amendment people, they know the end game, right? The end game is confiscation.
I know when it will stop. It'll stop when enough white people start getting killed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the bottom line. No offense to any white people that think that that's offensive.
I don't think it's going to stop in the U.S. Dude, like, well, as far as like
it would stop if you.
Wait, what's going to stop? Like confiscation, gun control, or shootings?
If
or
you shot enough white kids and white adults and white, if like my son, see, I'm black, bro, and you Latin, so it's different, right? And I don't always want to. I don't claim black shit all the time like that. I talk very proper and everything like that. I don't sound like your typical black person. Not that black people sound ignorant, but I use words that not even white people use. So, because I study shit, And so the thing is, one day me and my son were looking at TV, and he was probably like 10, and we were looking at news. Like, we were looking at world news. We weren't looking at local news. So they were like doing a study like, hey, yo, in Detroit, this many black people got killed. In New York, this many black people got killed. And in Florida, this many black people got killed. And he was like, oh my God, Daddy, they're saying that like geese migration. They're talking about that like it's not deaths. They're talking about that like it's so like when you talk about guns, I used to have guns. I used to have Uzi. I was a correction officer. I mean, when I was a correction officer, I had like guns. Like, I had a Uzi, which is a horrible gun. I had a Tech 9, which is a worse gun than the Uzi.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't shooting shit with a Tech
9.
9. And at some point, you just
My dad did. I didn't have it.
Yeah, I just got a gun now where I want to get off the block.
Mm-hmm.
I was 10 bullets. I want to just be able to get off the block and then maybe go around and bleed out on the next block, But when you start seeing all of these guns, and your people are getting killed with them, it's not as flamboyantly cool anymore, especially at my age with kids, so that's why I'm asking. Like, I see your excitement, and I'm not mad that you're excited about guns. If everybody went to the gun range, if there was enough room I think in the hood, we need more gun ranges. We need more outdoor gun ranges.
That's exactly. So there's some guy I found on Instagram. I forgot his name.
Because you got to release that tension. Ain't no way in hell you're going to go spend $1,500 on a gun, $2,000 on the black market, and you're not going to shoot something.
Yeah.
So we need some outlets for like
and
people to have
this is
it.
what I don't like. So in the black
and
community,
for felons to have it, like, just let anybody go. No, I'm serious. They got the gun. Come on.
If they're gonna go to the gun,
yeah, come on. You got a gun. I don't care about no gun card. Let's just go. Don't kill nobody out here. You know what I mean?
In the South, there's guns.
It's room.
There's education. There's guns.
There's room to shoot guns
in white and black communities. In the city here, it's like. You like, I didn't grow up that way eventually, but you don't go like, I'd like to see. There's a guy on Instagram, I forgot his name, but like, he'll go into, and Colin started doing this, right? Like, educating people in the black community about guns and having guns and ownership and things like that. Because it's like, you don't.
They do another thing in the South that people are not addressing. They kill animals.
Yeah.
And so this is what you got to understand. When you can kill your food, you understand the whole cycle of life. So the cycle of killing your own food. So you might kill a pig, or you might kill you know what I mean? People have never seen a chicken killed, but we eat like thousands of chickens a week. So like, if you got a gun and you don't know the respect of the cycle of life, those two things, and you can't use that gun anywhere safely in this area, those things all mean chaos when you give a 12-year-old here a gun versus a 12-year-old black kid in the South a gun. It'll be a whole different understanding, because the black kid in the South then killed a chicken. The white kid in the South then killed a deer. You know, they've been deer hunting, so they use the gun. So I got this AR, or I got this bow and arrow, I got this is a tool, and they respect it. But up here, for some reason, you have poor kids that have the availability to have $3,000 worth of guns. And what the fuck are they going to do with them? You know what I mean? They're going to be carjacking everybody in the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think now it's going to be, they're carjacking and killing more people this winter, and it's 3 below. By the time this summer, I think it's going to be a big change. Because now Wicker Park is getting robbed. Now...
Yep.
Yeah, that's what you see it.
I'm in Wicker right now, and there's been a lot of armed robberies.
Yeah, and it's going to change. I'm not saying let's go keep robbing Wicker Park, but I'm saying if Wicker Park keeps getting knocked off like that, we're going to start seeing bigger changes than if 87th Street just keep knocked off.
Yeah, because when I talk to people, like customers, and I tell them Chicago, and they're like, oh, you're in Chicago, it's so dangerous. And they don't understand. People in the South don't understand how segregated Chicago is. You know what I mean?
Super segregated.
If you go to the South, you go to a restaurant, you got black people, white people, families, and things like it. The South is not segregated. We're Milwaukee, Chicago is segregated. When I went to the South, I was like, oh, this is different. Everybody's together. And I was like, you're not, I go into a club, even Milwaukee was a little bit less, but I remember like being in a club or something or a restaurant in the South, and I was like, it was new to me. Yeah. Me seeing people integrated was new to me, it made me think like, oh, where the fuck do I live, right?
You
like,
go to Seattle, you be like, man, if you don't see a black person with a white person, you be like, man, y'all with each other? You with somebody black and you black? That's crazy.
But it's like Chicago.
But Martin Luther King said that. Martin Luther King said, hey, look, I didn't march through Alabama. I didn't march through all the South. And he said Chicago was by far the most racist place. And a lot of it is because Chicago's. So I went to Brother Rice High School on the southwest side, one of the most segregated racist areas. Okay?
Irish Catholic, right?
Irish Catholic, right? Exactly. And nothing against Irish Catholics, got a great education, everything. But if you look at the geographics and the jobs, right? So everybody who's an Irish Catholic in the Southwest, we're not talking about super IT people. We're not talking about NASA. We're talking about maybe a doctor, maybe a nurse, definitely a police, definitely a plumber, definitely a fireman, right? So those jobs, those are those marginal jobs that don't take much. They didn't take much education back then in the day, right? So who can take those jobs from you? Half decent black people with a good education, right? So that's your greatest competition. So we have to be racist to keep these people off our marginal jobs. Because if we don't, goddamn it, we're not gonna eat. You know what I mean? So that's that's right where middle class meets almost poverty. So like we're one break away from being impoverished our damn self because of the level of jobs that we have, and we have to hold these jobs together. Because without these jobs, we can't say we better than, like if we're on 103rd Street. If you go from 103rd and Pulaski, you're talking about middle class whites barely keeping the fireman job together, and then you go on 103rd and Halsted, you're talking about, hey, look, you better have a gun. You know what I mean? And so those border communities, those border places where the education is not that damn strong, those people you tend to find are the most racist people. Yeah. Because they have to segregate themselves, or they're going to fall over that other line.
They're going to be right on the other side.
If a black person keeps coming over here, now you're going to say, oh, they're going to live next to us, and now this is going to be a black neighbor. I don't know what white people think. We're going to eat them or something. Maybe we will eat them. Maybe we'll turn to Waukegan. They'll be like, oh, shit, this is going to be Waukegan.
I got to eat me some white people.
Because how did crime get all the way up to Waukegan? I used to look around like, what the fuck? There's crime up here? I'd let my whole guard down up to Waukegan.
I used to look when I lived in Highwood, right?
With Schmitty B and all of them.
Yeah, I lived in Highwood, and I thought Waukegan was to me, it was like a bigger city, right?
Right, it's like dusty, and it's one way in, one way out, and crime.
Yeah.
You can't go nowhere. You going down? What's the route up there? 912 or what?
41.
41. Yeah.
41.
He went right down 41. There you go, right there.
Well, I think that's where that dude got pulled over with the kilo of cocaine. 41.
It's a lot of crime up there, bro.
Yeah.
Right. No, I don't know why.
Crime, pregnant Mexican chicks, cocaine.
I hate to be a downer. It sounds like I brought everybody down, man. Fuck it. Let's all shoot each other.
Eat some white people and smoke cocaine.
Smoking cocaine.
You got any plugs? We're finishing up.
I'm trying to start probably like a once every 2 week show out in Ventrendy. It's a winery. So it's a black-owned winery in Park Forest. Vine Trendy. What is it? Ventrendy? So VIN Trend TRENDI.
All right.
And my buddy Rick Nesbitt owns it, so you can look him up on Facebook, Instagram. But he has some really cool wine. It's a real good venue. I'll invite you out. There you go. Look at you, man. You are
all up in the song, up in the video.
I like this guy, man. It's nothing like having a great assistant behind the board, bro. I'm telling you. Ventrendy vibe. There you go.
Honey rosé.
Yeah, he makes all the stuff in the back, and he went to Rice with me, and he went to Northern Illinois. This guy was the only black distributor of liquor. And then he got tired of working for somebody else and just opened up his own spot. A recession-proof business, but COVID kind of slowed down the NC. They have like a restaurant in there too, and so now they're just starting to open up. So he's giving me the
pomegranate.
Yeah, no doubt. All his shit's good. I don't even drink wine, but I'll sip his stuff, and it's definitely
black blueberries. Yeah, very low keto, very keto blueberry fruit.
Yeah, he has all kind of warm wines and stuff. Ventrendy wines. I'm giving him a plug.
Ventrendy wines.
Yeah, so now he's got to let me in the spot.
All right, Ventrendy wines.
Yeah,
and then Manny, since you're taking a board, you want to plug James and the network?
Yeah, you guys can follow us on People of Comedy Instagram. We got a website in the works that James will be talking about. Maybe we'll get an OnlyFans. I can talk to James about that.
Yeah,
what's it called? People's Comedy.
People of Comedy Network. James Webb. Usually it's James, but now we got Manny behind the board. Is this the board, the computer? I don't know. And then for me, Lobo Podcast, Instagram. Follow the Instagram. Follow the Lobo page. If you used to follow me on Snapchat, I probably don't follow you back anymore. I probably deleted you. Anyways, but Instagram, because I used to be for Hohen, and I am no longer.
You off the market, man? This girl, what's going on, man? She had titties, ass, and titties.
Ass and titties. Pull her up. Go to Instagram. Oh, she can't. What can we pull up? Go to Facebook.
Monster.
Go to Facebook. Go to Facebook, Manny. Pull my girl.
Are you just getting old, and you feel like horny, how old are you now?
36. I wasn't even trying to get a relationship. I was about to go on a fucking tear.
Yeah, but you're getting at that age where, you could start getting sick and shit.
I don't know, but I was getting at the age where I was like, man, I think I'm just going to be single the rest of my life and just be that dude. And I was ready for it.
But your testosterone level might be dropping a little bit,
Yeah, you could supplement that.
Are you crying? Are you crying at like ESPN stories?
Mm-hmm. Like I've been doing that since I was 16, dude.
Oh no,
the Buccaneers one, I cried on ESPN. Dude, I cry for anything. Download your information. Your account isn't disabled. Did James get blocked?
I don't know what he did.
Is this Instagram up?
Let's see the IG.
Oh, James. So, actually, go to my Instagram / Lobo9110.
Where'd you meet her at?
My regular technique: add you on social media, slowly message you. It takes a few months, and eventually I get in your pants. But
ordering pizza, huh?
Huh?
You ordered pizza online.
No, I was just hey, blah blah blah. Let's see. Scroll up. I got a picture with her somewhere, or scroll down. That's her in a hat. You can't see her ass or titties. She has a fat titties.
Yeah, she looks like a party girl.
Yeah, she's a freak too. I got a video over here. I'm coming on her face.
Go back to that one. That was nice ass.
Yeah,
that's nice. She Latino?
Half white, half Hispanic. Yeah.
Who's that guy with the beard?
That's me.
Really?
Yeah.
You look presentable right there, bro. That's crazy. She's cleaning you up.
So they follow the there's some music in the background. Where's this music coming from? So then the Patreon, follow the Patreon, I got new content. I'm going to record a solo then soon. I got gear. Check me out. I think that's it. That's all the plugs. Everybody's good? Yes?
Good.
Yeah. All right.
Appreciate you having me.
Thank you. All right.
Lobo